Welcome to Casa de Confidence, a podcast for you. You'll hear some incredible women
and some awesome, cool dudes
going confidently in the direction of their dreams and living in the purpose of their heart.
You're our host,
Julie DeLucca-Collins, and you are our sidekick. Hashtag handsome hot husband.
That again.
And the producer of the show.
That I am.
I am an author, speaker, coach, dreamer, and most of all,
we help people go in the direction of their dreams
and support them on their purpose. So pull up a chair,
grab a drink,
and make yourself at home because our casa
is your casa. Welcome back to a belated episode of Casa de Confidence. This is Dan.
And this is Julie.
And we're just here.
We're catching up with 2025.
I know we strive to do evergreen, but it's Tuesday, folks, and we usually Sundays?
Sunday
is their
night,
release date?
Monday morning.
Today's Tuesday. I hope you guys didn't miss us too much.
Well, I think the people always miss us, Dan, because we are witty and funny and, all the things.
I'm glad you think I'm witty.
I think you're incredibly witty. And handsome. That's why you get the nickname, hashtag handsome hot husband.
So as we regroup and get our hands around our release schedule, today we're just going to do me and Julie. Julie and Dan.
The Julie
and Dan
Who goes first? Show. Well, I want to ask you, it's so funny because for the listeners, I have been sick for the most part of December. And
I've been sick for the last 4 days.
Mm-hmm. We take turns here at Casa de Confidence.
Yeah, we just keep, give it to each other.
As long as we don't give it to my mom.
Yes, as long as we don't give it to
her
mom.
We're trying to keep her healthy.
Yeah.
So, one of the things, we had a conversation not too long ago, and we said, oh my God, we should talk about that on the podcast because it was really good.
Do you know
witty.
What it is?
No, I can't remember.
Oh, really? That's the way it always happens.
We need to write
We need to write things down. I was probably driving. You're
commiserating
on TikTok or.
Oh my God. Okay. However, yes.
I know where you're going in a week?
Well, I'm going to Podfest in a week, and I'm incredibly excited because I'm going to be presenting in the Pecha Kucha presentation, and I get to see some incredible friends in the podcasting world. And obviously I get to learn more about being a better podcaster, but more importantly, I get to know the things that will help me help and you help us help. That's a lot of helps.
And me?
This will help Casa de Confidence Productions become a better, more state-of-the-art service for podcasting production.
I'm already state-of-the-art.
Oh, yeah, you
Don't you
are
see all these
state-of-the-art.
computers over here?
Yeah, it's hard to not see all the monitors, computers, and everything else. So that's going to be a really fun time, except you're not coming with me.
I'm not. Yeah, I think I should stay here. You got 3 dogs. And a mother-in-law that I can take out for Indian food.
Yeah. There
while
you
you're
go.
gone.
Perfect.
So I'm going to hang back in Vernon, Connecticut. Or as you say it, the Hartford, Connecticut area.
That's right. The Hartford, Connecticut area. People don't know where Vernon is. It could be Fairfield County.
Some people know Vernon. Some people know Ryan's Deli. It's world famous.
Well, Ryan's Deli is world famous because it's a New York deli.
Well, it's in Vernon. It's a New York style deli.
It's owned by New Yorkers. They moved here from New York. That's how they made it.
Like 40 years ago.
Well, it's still a New York style deli.
You just called yourself, you said that the other day, and I tested you a little bit on your knowledge. You said, I've been here for 13 years now? You've been here for 13 years?
It's 12 and a half.
So you're starting to consider yourself a native.
I suppose.
To the area.
I suppose. Not native. It's not the right word.
Not the right word.
A resident of the area.
Well, you are. You've been a resident for quite some time, but you now
I was a little more transient when I was commuting to New York weekly.
Anyhow, I am a native of the area.
Yeah, you sure are. And you know what? I am so glad because we have such strong connections to our friends, your family, the people who have become our family. And yeah, I'm incredibly grateful for being here.
I'm grateful for you being here. You make my life brighter.
Oh, don't get mushy on me.
I'm sorry, people. I just got mushy.
So listen,
so Julie,
Daniel.
What do you have to say?
Okay, so I want to say something because I just talked about Casa de Confidence Productions, and many people may not know what Casa de Confidence Productions is. What do you do other than talk to me on my podcast?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, what? I'm not asking the dog.
Oh, ask the question again?
Oh my God. Okay, so before we jump
Folks,
into
that's a husband not paying attention.
Yeah, he was like looking at the world. Okay, so before I jump into the meaty part of the conversation, I know that we just talked about Casa de Confidence Productions, and most people know I'm a speaker, I'm a writer, I'm also a business strategy coach for women in midlife. However, other than you speaking to me, what is it that we do to help individuals with podcasts? What do you do? What is Casa de Confidence Productions?
We try to provide an easy button. Try to provide that support. For things. Any entrepreneur or person who wants to do a podcast, they've got their strengths, and typically, like you.
I'm the talent.
I'm just going to talk about the podcast.
Okay.
Not your coaching business. You're the talent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm the tech. So as far as that's concerned, kind of demystify that a little bit. If someone wants to do it on their own, I'm more than happy to lend advice.
To be an advisory role.
Be an advisory, yeah.
And we love talking to people who are podcasters or want to be podcasters or were podcasters because we know the importance of the message and the importance of having content that actually resonates with the listeners.
So that's how I help people. And if they just don't want anything to do with what's under the hood, then I get under the hood and make it all pretty.
He basically edits, produces the podcast. He will not only do audio, but he also does video. And we continue to have other team members that are supporting us and supporting clients.
And do the thumbnail artwork for YouTube.
And we've expanded to helping individuals with their social media. So we're becoming a full-fledged agency and very grateful for that. And you're going to hear more about that in the coming days or weeks.
Well, reverse, what do you do?
What do I do? I am the mastermind behind it all. Isn't that true?
You're like the Lex Luthor?
I wouldn't call me the Lex Luthor. My God.
Hey, for those comic book geeks out there in the DC universe, Lex Luthor is the most intelligent person in the DC universe.
Oh, well, thank you. But you're calling me evil too while you're at it.
No, just someone who thinks, every villain thinks they're doing the right thing.
Really? But you're still calling me a villain.
Oh, I did call you a villain, didn't I?
For the love of God, Dan.
Okay, you're Batman.
Okay,
he's top 5 intellect in the DC universe.
All right, so let's move on to what do I do?
Sorry, I've been watching.
I am the big picture, but I am also the person that.
Hold on.
Yes.
I was still talking about comic books.
Go ahead, comic books. I'm going to drink some tea while you do that.
I've been watching a lot of content on YouTube while I try to fall asleep. But okay, I'm done now.
Oh, there you are. Okay. In one of the things that I want to discuss is I've shared this already with my email list and on Substack. If you're not following me on Substack, you should. and I'll probably make a video of this for YouTube. But one of the things that has been a practice even before I became a coach, even before I was an entrepreneur, well, I had my side hustles throughout the years. However, I have picked a word for the year, every year. And that has been one of the most helpful things in making my year the kind of year that in which I check things off the list, in which I step out of my comfort zone, in which I live my year by. And that word of the year is something that I want to encourage you that if you haven't done that, that you take the time to maybe go through this little exercise for yourself. And you will see that having a word, simple word, you don't have to set resolutions. You don't have to set big, crazy goals if you don't want to, but create something that is easy to remember, easy to connect with, and easy to guide you through in the year. So,
what's your word of the year, Julie?
I'm going to tell you at the end of this episode.
You are?
Yeah, at the end of this episode. So, but I'm going to walk you.
I'm shocked that you haven't asked me what mine is.
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to ask.
Are you going to walk me through it?
I'm going to walk you through it so that, we can give people a glimpse of how this is done.
All right.
Okay. So the first thing, reflect on the past year, right?
All right.
And one of the ways in which I do this, and you don't have to do this right now because we're going to, we don't want to be a 100 million minutes podcast, but reflect on the past year and think about what went well, what challenges did you face, and what lessons did you learn, and how do you want to grow?
Okay.
So think about it. So come up with maybe one or two things that went well in the past year. Think about it.
Well, what went well? For our business at home, we added several new clients.
Mm.
That was great. That was amazing, consistent
consistent
clients.
growth. Yeah. I think for overall Go Confidently services, definitely hit a great revenue goal. And obviously there's always room for improvement, but that was really good that we continue to grow. And as a new business, because we're still a baby business, we continue to thrive throughout what we're doing. So if that went well, here are the things, right? We had challenges, and I think that the challenges are the things that can test us, but also teach us. So what are some of the challenges that you think, well, and I don't want you to say just for Go Confidently Services, the production.
That's what I'm going to talk about.
But for you.
That's what's on my mind at this moment.
Okay. So, well, what are some of the challenges for you for the past year?
Challenges for the past year.
Mm-hmm.
We added several clients.
Wow.
What that means, don't take it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is that adds time to put on my plate. And I was chewing up that time, and I was running out of time. And I was getting a little stressed. And the cool thing about that, it forced me to innovate a little bit. It forced me to find new ways to do things quicker with better quality. And that was good.
And for
but
my
the other challenge
go ahead.
that also brings is if you want a certain thing, sometimes you have to sacrifice another thing.
Mm-hmm.
And sacrifice that we had to make this year is we had some broadcasts for our radio broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to make time for that to work, we cut back on that.
Yeah, that's right. We definitely did
and doubled down on serving people.
Correct. Because service is one of our top, well, at least for me, it's one of my top values. But I think that, and I know, Dan, maybe you don't want to talk about personal for you because, you're not like me that puts everything out there, but.
Well, my biggest challenge personally has been my health.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, and that's something weird. And that actually is where my word is going to be generated. My word is going to be a short word.
Okay.
It will
I'm not asking you for your word yet.
My word will, I'm not going to give it to you. My word will, it could be a wordle word.
A wordle word. Okay.
But, yeah, it stems from my health. And,
okay. So now if you're listening to this and you reflected on the past year and you came up with what went well, what challenges did you face, and what lessons did you learn, I want you to close your eyes now and take a couple minutes. If you want to pause the episode, you can, but I want you to close your eyes and imagine December 31st of 2025, right? Maybe you're in your pajamas, or maybe you're getting ready to go to a party.
So we're imagining the future.
You're imagining the future. You're imagining December 31st, 2025. Look at me, 19 something. 2025. Lord. Okay. So once you close your eyes and you've taken a minute, I want you to think about what would success look like for you on December 31st, 2025. And what emotions or themes do you want to embrace? Because if you're successful at what you want to accomplish, right? And the year has passed, 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days, what is success? Is it the money in the bank? Is it maybe you created margin? Maybe you took that vacation. Maybe you got in shape. Maybe you began something that you've been wanting to do. You started to write that book and you're in the process or finished it. So think about what would success look like. And how does that make you feel? What are the emotions that as you're thinking about it, it makes you what you want to embrace?
Have they thought long enough?
Well, I don't know about you. I think I thought long enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. So one of the things, and by the way, if you haven't done the Wheel of Life exercise, this is a really great place to add the Wheel of Life because we bring ourselves wherever we go. So I want you to think about the different areas of your life: personal growth, career or business, right? Relationships, in health and wellness. And then there's words that we can associate, right? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to self-care more? Do you want to feel joy in your personal? How about in your career? Do you want to thrive? Do you want to focus? Do you want to build momentum? In your relationship, are you looking for connection, love, presence? And in health and wellness, strength, vitality, balance. So these are not just the words that you can use. There's tons of more, but think about the emotions, and those emotions, let's put a word to it in the areas of life that are important. And then I want you to reflect on the patterns, right? There's going to be certain words that keep coming up for you as we've been talking about them. And this is a time where you can write them down and see which of these words resonate. And I will tell you that as I started to do this exercise, December 30th, actually, I had a hard time really coming up with the emotions that I wanted to feel next year at the end of the year. Because, and again, I don't want to pick and embrace a theme for my year because that's, intellectually, that's what I should be doing, right? But I really want it to be that core of me so that it really guides me. And again, I've been doing that for a few days. And as you reflect with those patterns, you're going to choose a word that inspires you. Your word should evoke positive emotions and motivate you. For instance, for me, and I share this on email, some of my words for the year have been acceptance, adventure, amazing, power, relentless, connection, action. And last year's word was freedom, right? And at times in which I've struggled, at times in which I've questioned, what am I doing? How do I do this? I've had that word to ground me. So choose a word and begin to try it out in your head. Is this the year of growth where you expand personally or professionally? Is this the year where you simplify? Is it the year that you have the courage to step outside your comfort zone? Or do you want to just take time to savor life more? So imagine your chosen word guiding you through the year. Does it feel empowering? Does it feel aligned? Does it fully resonate with what you're trying to be or have? And lastly, you want to declare your word. So write it down, put it on a vision board. Maybe you want to put it as your screensaver on your phone. Journal about it. Share it with others. And then your word of the year should feel personal, exciting and meaningful, and a beacon for your journey ahead. So, Dan, share your word for the year with me.
Well, mine's boring based on what you just said.
No, that's a judgment. That's a thought.
But I want to start with a firm foundation.
Okay. What is a firm foundation?
Well, I know this coach who does this thing called Tiny Habits.
Oh, yeah. She's very good at it.
Yeah, she's awesome. So my word for this year is going to be prompt.
Prompt? Ooh.
Because you have to start with a solid foundation, a solid beginning. And I need to find my prompts to form some better habits.
And I love that. And I think that if your word is going to be prompt, listeners, not necessarily Dan, I'm not speaking and coaching him, but if that's going to be your word, I want you to imagine what feeling that word evokes. So for me, in my word, we see grow, simplify, thrive, courage, brave, and the ones that I mentioned in the past, but they didn't fit right. And one of the things that I noticed, especially while I was sick and I've been doing a lot of thinking, is that I am scared. I'm scared of the future. And it's normal. I've had some changes in life. I've had some things that I planned to do that didn't turn out. And I have some things that I've had to recalibrate. So when all of that, because I'm scared, right, of these things, I know that the way in which we can move forward when we feel fear is to take action, even if it's a tiny step forward. So my word for the year is fearless. And mainly because in the moments in which I'm worried about the future, I can remind myself, Julie, you're fearless. You can do this. In the moments that I feel like things are not coming out right, I can say, Julie, you're fearless. Geez, do it. Right? And then I can start to gather that evidence from my evidence book that reminds me that indeed I am fearless. I've done it. I have been able to get there. So no matter what you do this year, my friends, I do want you to go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
All right, folks. We will see you. We will talk to you next week. And Julie, have fun at Podfest.
You'll talk to me before that.
I know. Thanks for listening to Casa de Confidence. We thank you for listening, and if you want more, go to casadeconfidencepod.com. Check Julie out on her socials as Julie DeLucca-Collins. And you can also check out her website at goconfidentlycoaching.com. Have a great week, and don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
Hi, everybody. I know that sometimes we get very lonely in this entrepreneur journey, and I want to invite you to join us into our limited time only, Purposeful You Mastermind. For many of us entrepreneurs, we believe that we can do it all. But the reality is that doing it alone only creates a lot of overwhelm. So join us at the Purposeful You Mastermind. You can find out more information by going to bit.ly/Julie's Mastermind. This is going to be the place where you are able to then unlock your full potential and achieve long-term success for your business. Push you behind your current limits, expand your connections, discover new ideas, and implement them with confidence. You're going to get the support in all aspects and transforming you to the six-figure business you've been looking for. Pause and get off the hamster wheel if you've been spinning around. This is a time where you can get that support from like-minded entrepreneurs that are here to join you in your journey. Together, we can challenge the assumptions and land the speaking engagements and opportunities we want to grow our business and make an impact in the lives of people. See you then. Remember, you can find the mastermind at bit.ly, Julie's Mastermind.